Computers have become part of our everyday life. We use one at work, we use one at home, we even keep one in our pockets. Do we need any more? And what are they going to do to improve your ride? Let's have a little look and find out. E-mountain bikes nowadays all come with their own onboard displays, whether it's a head unit here or something that's mounted into the top tube. But we can all agree that some of the information that's on there might not be quite as accurate as we want it to be, battery percentage. But using something like a cycle computer gives you a lot more information. So you can get things like accurate battery percentage, route navigation and planning, and even things like your range assist and your estimated travel distance. So it's great to see that so many brands out there like Garmin, Wahoo, Lezyne, Hammerhead are all offering connectivity and compatibility directly with your e-bike system. It gives you such good information to be able to ride further and faster and actually understand what you're doing on the bike. Out of all the brands I've mentioned, we're partnered with Garmin, which is a great hand to be able to show you some of the e-bike features that it provides. Garmin are a name that's synonymous with GPS for the last 20 years, but now they've started making things that are super compatible with your e-mountain bike. So we're going to have a little delve into see what e-mountain bike features they provide and what information you can get that's specific to your bike. Let's have a little look and see what these puppies can do. So we're going to connect to our e-bike system, and we're using the Shimano Step system today. So you go into your sensors and you scroll down over to Shimano Steps, as we're using the Husqvarna today. Turn the power on, and lo and behold, you will see the Shimano Steps button there. Select that and add. And we don't have Di2, unfortunately, so cancel that, and away you go. So on the default screen, we can see things like your battery level, your power assist, your smart bike travel range, interesting one, and your normal e-bike range. And I put in the heart rate sensor because I just need to make sure I'm not going to die. So we swipe to the left again, and you've got your all-important navigation. This offers route planning, maps, and also includes your mode assist and also your smart range calculator. So right away we can see the cogs start to whir. As you can see on the display, you've got your battery there, but it's not in a percentage, it's just in the bars. That's going to ruffle some feathers. Next down, you've got your assist mode. So as you can see, we're in eco, but you can scroll through those modes. Below that, you've got your smart travel range. Now I like this one. It takes into consideration your conditions, the terrain, your elevation to give you a more accurate range estimation. Below that, you've got your standard range estimation, which personally, I'd prefer the smart version. And last but not least, you've got your heart rate there. So I'm setting a steady 136, keeping it steady. These are the ones I've chosen out of a list of many, but some honourable mentions are cadence, shift advice, and gear position for all you electric diehards with your wireless drive chains. So some interesting boops and beeps came up on my screen as I was just riding then. Jump detection being the first one. It's a cool feature that detects when you take off and land on a jump. It tells you how far you've gone and how much airtime you've gone, which is really, really cool, but the beeps that come up on display can be a little distracting, so you can turn them off, so it's kind of a win-win situation in my eyes. The second one is live track. Now, live track is similar to what you might have on your phones, where you can send your loved ones your location for a period of time. The third one, and probably the most interesting out of all of them, is your incident detection. Now, incident detection is a feature that if you crash, it will send out a text to your emergency contacts, the ones that you've chosen through your Garmin app. It's probably the most important one if you're riding solo, because it means that if you're unconscious or something happens where you aren't able to reach your phone or contact anyone, it will do it for you. Now, the caveat to that is it is a little sensitive at times, so sometimes it can flag up, but the beauty of it is you've got an option to click cancel. So now those features aren't e-mountain bike specific, but they're really worth mentioning. I've got a young child and a wife, and to be honest, those features are things that would save my marriage and potentially save my life. So I think they're really worth mentioning across the board, whether you're riding mountain bikes, e-bikes, or even road bikes. Now, before it all goes off in the comments, I mentioned battery percentage earlier. Apps on the Garmin IQ store, third-party apps, will allow you to be able to check your battery percentage, but that's minimal compared to the other things they can do. There's a diagnostic tool that can tell you your motor error codes. There's a tool that even tells you your battery and your motor temperature, along with your battery voltage. So it's pretty intensive if you're into the numbers, but be wary that it's not all devices that are compatible. So check on the IQ store and you can see a list of compatible devices. As I mentioned earlier, I've been using the Garmin Edge 840 today. Now, this device is incredible and shows a hell of a lot of data as you're riding. However, whether you need that information or not will depend on the device you choose. Garmin have a range of devices that start from about £150 all the way up to about £680. Now, all of those devices will give you almost all the same data post-ride, but what will vary is the display that you can see. So depending on what metrics and data you need while you're riding will depend on the device that you choose. So let's have a look at a few, taking in some variability on the price. So we've got the Edge 130. Now that comes in at around £150. It's got a simple data display, simple navigation, but it still comes with a whole load of back-end data, but there's no touchscreen, unfortunately. Then you've got the Edge 840 Solar, and this is the one I've been using on the test. Comes at about £520 with all the features you might need and solar charging, which is incredible. You've got the Edge 1040 Solar, and now this is a bit of the creme de la creme, but it comes with the price tag to match. It's £630. It's very similar to the 840, but comes with a much larger display, colour touchscreen, and it's also got some security tracking features. Then as far as the watches are concerned, you've got the Fenix 7 Solar. Now this has got touchscreen and button display, but it comes in at £580. It's got a choice of live display, navigation, and a whole load of post-ride data on screen and within the app. So you've got the Vivo Active 4S. Now this is a smaller display, but it's still got a touchscreen. It comes in at around £220, which is under half the price of the Fenix Solar 7. So you've got limited options for display, and it's got no real live data as you're riding, but it's still got on-the-go navigation, and the post-ride data is still available, but it's only available via the app. Post-ride, post-wear, I've got the Garmin Connect app up and I'm having a look at some of the rides I've done. Now, on this app, it can display some really interesting figures. So it's got time, distance, and calories, which, hey, for me, it hasn't been my best ride, but it's cool to know and it's quantitative. On the other side of things, something I'm more interested in is my route. So it's mapped out my route with color coordination for how fast I was going, including the jumps that I hit, and it's able to display your distance and your height with the jumps, along with every other single number you might need. So it's got your elevation along with everything else. So it's incredible to see this and to be able to analyze this post-ride and be able to see and push myself on next rides coming in the future. I've never really been a Strava guy, but having a tool like this Garmin cycle computer has been really useful. For me, it's a massive tool to be able to find new trails, old trails, and map out my ride and see where I can improve. I'm pushing myself against myself, not against anyone else. Now, each Garmin has its own set of features, so have a look and see which one works for you. But like I said, there's a whole heap of other different cycle computers on the market. So do your research, have a look into it, and thanks for tuning in. Make sure to leave comments down below, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.